What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Hunter Call the Wild, Te Awarora Part 3. So in the previous episode, Kari had us going around checking out a bunch of different things. In this episode, it's not going to be too much different. There's going to be a lot of walking around, which I will get rid of for you for the most part. And right now we are on the hunt for some trail cameras, which we need to replace the batteries to. But oddly enough, these trail cameras are not attached to trees. That's right, you heard it, folks. The developers, Expansive Worlds, and the distributors, Avalanche Studios, missed this in their QA. And yeah, it's funny. So we'll get into it. Let's start.
It's the camera turned toward the river. Just a little further up there. Cheers. That should keep it going for another few years. Can you check the other cameras while you're here? Might give you some stalking suggestions, if nothing else. Now when something shows up on these, 9 times out of 10 it's a stray deer. Between these little fellas and that props list, Christmas has come early this year. There's our missing props. But who? I don't honestly mind someone getting some use out of them as long as we're not deemed responsible. But that's a big bloody truck. There's no driving of anything larger than an ATV permitted in the reserve. Don't see any tracks, do you? Must have been a few days ago at the earliest. License plate's pretty clear at least. I'll do some detective work and let you know. I don't suppose you packed any swimming togs, eh? Well, not to worry. Getting to our next destination involves a bit of spelunking, but a flashlight and some waterproof boots should be all you need. Head to the cave I've marked on your hunter mate. Unless you'd rather climb over those mountains. Nah? Didn't think so. We used to scare ourselves with stories about them around the campfire. Me and my brothers never know what's lurking in the bushes around here at night. Feeling lost? She'll be right, as we say in these parts. Just see if you can find some tracks. This might surprise you, but I'm a pretty big rugger fan. Nothing like a rainy Saturday night down the stands watching your local team get destroyed. It's a Kiwi tradition. Yeah, we've had a few incidents here over the years, especially in the spring season when there's a lot of rain. I always tell them, leave the spelunking to the professionals. Follow the river west and you'll eventually wind up at the cave mouth. The water's low right now, but it can still catch you by surprise. Stick to the walls and get that flashlight on.
Yeah, definitely stick to the sides. So you're going to start off on the right-hand side, then you're going to want to cross over to the left, and then back to the right. And the reason being is because some of these, I guess you can call them puddles, they will drown you if you go too far into them. So take that advice very, very seriously.
Is that what I think it is? Not sure if I should be horrified or impressed. Don't bother picking it up. I'll send someone with the proper equipment over later on. Wait, I know you're almost out, but indulge me for a minute. Take a look on your right. A little further ahead. This is why I live here. Go ahead, get as close as you want. Just don't touch it. See the cracks in the surface? It's limestone, notoriously unstable. These cave paintings aren't going to be here forever, but I've made it my mission to ensure that we do everything we can to keep them around for as long as possible. Kids like Josh need to learn their history, right? It's part of what it means to be human, knowing you come from something else, someone else. We call it whakapapa. It means genealogy, but also to place in layers. And those layers link us all. Everything ends up in the ground, bird or human or rock or deer. Anyway, that's enough philosophizing from me. Let's get you out of here. I'm sure you've never been so happy to lay your eyes on the wonderful Kiwi weather. Stretch those legs. Nothing like wandering through a damp, cramped cave to give you a new lust for life. Right, I hope you're not too worn out now. More filming's on the table, but first, can I trouble you to take a little detour? Let me explain. The beech trees here form one of the finest examples of native forest in all of New Zealand. In no small part due to the efforts of our resident conservationist marama. We just had a mast year when they seed like crazy. And this means plenty of food for mice and rats, which in turn means plenty of food for other small pests. Beginning to see the problem? When the rats run out, those small mammals prey on native bird species, the pesky critters. We've used aerial 1080 poisoning to stave off the worst of them. But to slow their reintroduction, we need to get our hands dirty and lay down a few traps ourselves. It's time-sensitive work, and unfortunately, Marama's feeling a bit crook and had to stay home today. Can you take over for her? She's left them in a box near the target site. Conservation here is a constant tit-for-tat against these invasive mammal species. Our only indigenous mammals are 3 types of bats and some marine species. Everything else is a pest to a lesser or greater extent. Sometimes our methods can seem extreme. 1080 poisoning isn't without its naysayers, but it's one of the only tools we have to help protect the uniqueness of this place. Now, hunting helps too. I don't want to go back to the days of the helicopter wars, but having recreational hunters here year-round would go a very long way. There's the box. 4 should do as long as you cover enough ground. Cutting-edge Kiwi technology, these. Self-resetting and all. That looks like as good a spot as any. Should be simple to set up. Just install the mount and clip the trap body into place. 2 down, 2 to go. birds will thank you for this. And that's all of them. Top-notch conservation work, Eho. One final thing. You can take down the 1080 warning sign. Any animals that haven't already kicked the bucket should have metabolized it by now, so it's safe to hunt in the area again. Hold on just a second. Are you seeing what I'm seeing on the ground there? These tracks aren't particularly old, eh? I hadn't expected we'd be able to deter everyone, but it's not exactly an optimal time to go for a stroll in the bush. 1 second, Josh is ringing. Feel like checking out with our lead? What kind of tricks have you used to lure in that many seeker deer? I might have to hire you to give tourists lessons. Well, someone was clearly having a bad time of it. Munted, high, both. What's that over there? This looks like it's right out of Resplendent Sword. Surely they didn't. Oh, where? Poor thing, looks like it's been torn to bits. Is that a handmade arrow? And to top it all off, there's heavy rain forecast. Perfect bloody timing. There's an outpost not far. Why don't you take shelter there and see if there's any more clues as to what we're dealing with here? Just as I suspected. Our props burglar. And it looks like they've made a spectacular exit. Must have left in a real hurry. Can you put the signs back up at least? Yeah. I think that's as good as you're going to get it looking. The stuff from the photograph. What's the appeal of this rubbish? Now we know where our pickup truck went. Glad to see the back of it. But look at me talking. You're so tough to death. Get inside and I'll fill you in on what Josh told me. A literal bloody hack job. Please tell me that's not what I think it is. It is. That's where our poor little deer ended up. It must smell vile. Someone's been making themselves at home. Right, so I had the nephew track down that license plate number. And our props burglar is none other than a local menace by the name of Gad Barden. He's got a whole social media empire under the moniker of Giraroz's Blessing. Blogs, YouTube, QuickMez, the works. With exclusive behind-the-scenes shots from on-location movie sets. And guess what? He's Resplendent Sword mad. Got heaps of photos from all over the reserve up on here. His latest blog entry is quite something. Salutations, followers and friends, blah, blah. Have been out of contact, lost my way in the ever-shifting forests. Foul supper left me ill some nights. 1080 poisoning. He's lucky to be alive, the muppet. Let me send you the link. You usually get Josh to help me out with this. There. Check your hunter, mate. Think he just hallucinated that terrifying creature? He certainly has an overactive imagination, I'll give him that. It's too far inland for a taniwha and not humanoid enough for a patupaere. Unless... Anyway, he's an absolute bloody idiot, but I'm glad he's alive. This could have gone so much worse, and it's my own stupid fault for allowing them to film here. I just hate seeing the place disrespected. It's not just the bush, it's my home. I grew up a stone's throw from here. No one's around anymore, but you're welcome to swing by the old house once the filming's wrapped up if you're still in the area. I'll send someone by to clean this up later. Let's get back on track. I'm sure you've seen plenty of fancy castles on your travels, but I guarantee you they're nothing compared to where I'm taking you next. We're gonna do some hunting out by Stone Castle Valley, a limestone formation not far from here.
So yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned it in previous videos, but the Boddens, they're a bunch of morons who end up getting into a lot of trouble and causing mischief on pretty much every single map in this game. It's kind of like a meme nowadays. But anyways, guys, I'm just going to go through, think about my loadout and stuff like that, probably change it up a little bit. But we are going to end the video here. So if you like the video, hit that like button. If I've earned it, hit the subscribe button. And as always, be safe, be cool, and have fun. We'll catch you in the next one.